Tessa. Welcome back to my channel. And today I wanted to talk about day 18 of NaNoWriMo. Now, as I have mentioned, I do not have a set written word goal. I thought that would be better for me since I have that choice. So, of course, I have just, as I mentioned, set just a 3-hour goal for the day. And as long as it has something to do with the book, then that's fine. It doesn't have to be actual writing. I'm up to about 10,000 words now because I did start to write again. I had run into a problem where I had realized I had switched names and I had to get the names correct. I had a tense problem. Kept changing tenses. Now that's not completely corrected, but I am going a little stir crazy trying to complete, practically the whole document is switching back and forth that I've written so far. So I decided to take a break from correcting tenses and leave that as part of the editing process, which I don't need to do right now. I need to get more words written. And there was one other thing I thought of, and that was I need to Google my names to make sure I'm not using somebody famous, at least famous now. I mean, in the past, it's not a big deal, but anybody that's famous now. And I also needed to come up with some names for like cities and, surrounding areas of where they live, because I specifically name a state in there, and I wanted to make sure none of those are actual towns in that state, because I want the whole thing completely fictitious. I don't want to get caught up like Janet Ivanovich, if anybody's heard of her. She writes mystery stories, basically, and they're based on Trenton, New Jersey. And so she'll mention things around Trenton, New Jersey, towns, things that, because I live in New Jersey. So, things that I recognize. And that was one thing I don't want to do, is to write something like that and have somebody come back and say something about it. I mean, she's written like, 20-some books about that particular part of New Jersey. And I don't know if all of it's fictitious or just part of it is, but obviously Trenton's the capital of our state, so that's that's definitely real. But I don't know about all the other things she writes about. But I didn't want to do that, so I had to make sure I Googled any names I was thinking about for, town I lived in and stuff like that. So I spent time doing that, and I needed at least one business name. I may need a couple more, and I wanted to make sure they're not real businesses, because again, anything that's real in there, I want it all fictitious. So that's what I spent doing these last few days, rather than writing anything new. And so somebody suggested maybe I should just start writing again and leave all this stuff alone and fix it later, because it was beginning to get to me, like you stare at the document and you're trying to figure out the tenses. I'm sorry, my arm itches. If you see me scratching, I was getting a little stir crazy with the changing the tenses, because I was writing it in not first person, sorry. I was writing it in the present tense, but kept flipping back into past tense. So I'm trying to switch it all to present tense, because that's what I want it written in. So, either way I went, I was going to be changing, because there was so much of it flip-flopping back and forth. But I want it present tense, so I have to work on that, and I have to try to think about it when I'm writing and try not to write. But when you're sprinting along as quick as possible, sometimes that doesn't come into play. You don't really think too much about the tense. And so that's basically where I am. I'm still up, on goal to finish, because, even if I spend the time writing words, I still got editing to do, and there's a few things to research still that I may have to look into. And the story is pretty much plotted out in my mind. I did make one change already, from what I had originally put on the old outline that I'm not using. And I was going to use it, and then I decided no, that was going to cause me more trouble, and I'm not sure how to go about writing it. So I decided to leave that section out and replace it with something else. So that's basically it. I'm, still trying to learn editing. Someone gave me a name of another program to try. And last night I was actually able to manipulate in that program and put in my intro and my outro and everything, and get something. And when when I ran the preview, it looked pretty good. And I did try to upload it to YouTube, but I found out as long as you don't buy the program, if you keep it free, there's a watermark on it. So I have to decide whether, because I've already paid for another program. I paid a lot for another program, and a more professional program. This is made for people who need something easy, and it is. That's the first thing that I've actually been able to use to create a video. Of course, I don't know how to get, like I said, it didn't upload, even though it says it went, goes to YouTube. It's made kind of mainly for, making YouTube videos and editing them. And of course, I still need to work on cutting out parts that I don't want, but I did learn how to put in intros, outros, and when I ran it, it ran the way I wanted it to. So I'm trying to look up, there's a couple videos that say they'll give you the directions on how to use the program. So I got to watch them first and see whether it's worth paying more money, because I already paid for other programs that I can't use at this moment. And I don't know if I ever learn them or not. But maybe I just need to start with the basic program and work myself up from there. And then I'll have the program, because I already paid for it, and I already paid for 2 years of help. They had a special going, and they give you videos to show you how to do things, which is what I need. I need someone to show me how to do something. I can't just follow directions, unfortunately. It's very hard for me. So, they actually have videos that you can search for different things that you want to learn how to do. So I have to figure out whether I want to buy this program or not. And it's not super expensive, because it is a very basic program, but I just don't know if I want to buy another one or if it's the one I want to use. But if it can do basically what I need, then I might just go with that. But that's basically my news for now. I'm keeping, like I said, I'm keeping up with my goal of working on the book at least 3 hours a day in some form or another. I've got a title that I did a lot of Googling on, trying to find out how many people have written books named the same thing. And there are some things out there. And someone told me, though, that you can't really copyright a book title. So, that's why you find a lot of things that are named the same thing, but they aren't, as long as they're not the complete, same story, that it's possible to use. So that I may have to check into before I actually assign an official name to the book. But they do have a working title for it now. And kind of like it, so I hope it's all right to use. So until next time, watch for my videos. I try to post them once or twice a week, even more so now during NaNoWriMo, keeping up with whatever I come up with. So if you like my video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell to let you know the next time I post another video. And until then, please be safe.